Number 1, motivation or lack thereof. If you're anything like me, you will have the occasional hour, maybe even a couple of hours, possibly even a day on rare occasions, where all you want to do is work on your art. That's all you want to do. You know, you've got no time for anything else, no time for food, no time for sleeping. No, you just want to draw. An hour later, you're on the sofa, you've got a blanket on, and you're eating chocolate biscuits. Because it's gone. Motivation's gone. And you don't know when it'll come back. Maybe never. Maybe never it'll come back. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's time to just stop and become some kind of chocolate biscuit eating sofa hermit. That's quite good, actually. Number 2. No confidence, or lack of. Confidence isn't something I have. And it can be annoying, especially when people are telling you that you do good work and people want you to do commissions for them and people like your work, but then if you have no confidence, then you don't understand why they're saying these things. And I've done this in the wrong order, I just realised. That was supposed to be number 3. It's going well. Number 2, again, because I did it wrong in the wrong order. Moving on from motivation, or not having any, having too much motivation. You've got tons of motivation, you've got so much energy, and then you just get stuck in, and then before you know it, it's like 10 hours later, and it's dark outside, and you haven't moved, and you realise that, you know, you're in a lot of pain. Because, genuine story, I finished one massive session of drawing that, and when I finished, I put my pen down, but my hand stayed in the pen holdy position. So there's kind of a flip side to having too much of too much motivation going on. You can end up with the claw. Let this be a warning. Let this be a warning. You're welcome. You're welcome. 3. What number are we on? 3, 4? 4. 4. Inspiration. Or lack thereof. Okay, so not feeling inspired. This is a constant thing for me. Like, I have brief flurries of inspiration, but then most of the time there's nothing going on. Yeah, and you know, there's lots of advice out there on how to get motivation, inspiration. You know, you can go for a walk, you could listen to some music, you could watch a film, you could just go on the internet. That's a really good idea. But you know, like go on like Pinterest or Instagram or stuff and just get inspiration that way, which can work and has worked for me. But a lot of the time, you just end up thinking about other things, and inspiration just doesn't come. And then, you know, you're sat in front of your sketchbook with all your equipment out, and you're just staring at it. Nothing happening. No. Flip side of that, too many ideas, which is another thing I have, because in those short little flurries of inspiration I have, like when I say flurry, it's more like, I mean, there's an explosion in here, okay? Because you'll have an idea that, oh, maybe I could draw this, and then oh maybe I could do like 10 of them. Oh, and maybe I could do them like really, really big, or really, really small, or maybe I could like create it into a whole series, or maybe I could do it in loads of different materials, and maybe I could create some kind of audio visual thing. And then about 10 minutes later, you've probably forgotten what your original idea was. Welcome to my life. Okay, I've no idea what number we're up to now. Might be 6. Let's go with 6. 6. Not liking the end result. So with me, every time I finish a piece of work, I've done the last stroke of the pen, it's finished, I've signed it, I walk away, I go and get a drink or just go and have a little walk around, stretch my legs. I'll come back, I'll look at it again and wonder what the hell I was thinking. It's like you're in this weird little mindset when because it's like you're looking at it with fresh eyes, if that makes sense. And it can look completely different. And sometimes that's a good thing, you know, if you weren't liking what you were doing, you might look at it and think, oh, actually, do you know what, it's not bad. Or more often than not, it's the other way around, where you come back in, look at it, and immediately want to shred it into tiny, tiny pieces and throw it in the bin. Okay, this one is it encompasses a lot of different things. Specifically to me, it's about your pens running out. Pens. Why do I choose to work in pens? Yeah, pens running out. Because the pens I use are normally quite reliable, but sometimes they will troll me. They will look like they're working, and they're working fine, and then it looks like they're running out. Okay, so like, oh, okay, right, I'm going to my new pens. So okay, I won't use that pen for a bit, and then I'll carry on working. And then, because I have so many pens, I forget which pens I've stopped working, so I might pick one of those pens up again and forget that it doesn't work, or I'll pick it up and it wasn't working, and then it now is working. So it's a nightmare, and I hate them for it. But funny story, when I was working on this one, which I showed you in my last video, when I started using a new pen, or when one of my pens was running out, or looked like it was running out, I would do a quick little scribble on a piece of paper just to check. And because that took me so long, and I went way overboard with detail, I ended up, when I finished that one, I had this sheet next to it that I've been doing my scribbles on, and that's what happened. So every little scribble, every little scribble was when a pen was running out on me. I actually want to frame this, put it on my wall. I'm going to call it an exploration of scribbles, or squiggles. But same can be said, because if you don't work in pens, same can be said for like paint. You can run out of paint, or the worst thing about paint is when you've mixed a colour and it's taking you ages and you've got the perfect colour, okay, and you're using it and it's great, and then you've got none left and you need to mix again, but you can't remember how you made that colour before, and how are you going to do it again, you know, like you're never going to make that colour ever again. So then you have to paint over it with a new colour, but then that colour runs out and you're never going to make that colour again. And you see where I'm going. This one happens to me a lot because before I do pen, I do pencil drawing first. And I imagine this is the same for a lot of other people if you use pencil or if you use paint or anything really. So you're working away, you know, you're having a great time, you're drawing and everything's wonderful, and then you move your hand away, you know, you've been really focused on, like say like the top corner, you're really focused, this is great, it's a great corner, this is an amazing corner, and then you move your hand away, and because you've been resting your hand on the page and it's all smudged, and then you look at your hand and your hand is like just covered in paint or pencil or whatever you're using, and you've just, it's all smudged to a point this happens with pencil, to a point where you've practically erased all the lines that you've drawn with your hand because you've just been like, yeah. Because then you've got to go over it again, or you've got to try and remember what you were drawing in the first place and have to redraw it and then rub out all the smudge because there's so much smudge. It's all very smudgy. Yeah, it's annoying that. Search now, guys. Okay, number 9. Comparing yourself to other artists. I am 100% guilty of this 100% of the time. It happens every time I go on Instagram or Twitter or anywhere, because I follow a lot of artists on social media who I really admire, and I'll be scrolling through and I'll see a picture of theirs, a piece of work they're doing, and I wonder why I'm bothering, because their work is just so good and mine just isn't. And I try so hard not to do, okay? Because, you know, you got to be happy for other artists who are creating and making amazing stuff. And of course I am. I'm always happy when I see artists that I admire, or just any artist really who's created something that's beautiful, and, you know, you want to celebrate it. But it's so hard not to turn it on you and just think, and it's so hard not to just think, well, why am I bothering? There's so many amazing people out there. What am I contributing? You know, that's like that's my brain. It sucks. That's my brain. Okay, last one. Okay, if you're gonna ask an artist to do a commission for you, don't expect them to do it for free, because it costs money to create art, believe it or not. It takes time, it takes materials. Just don't assume that they're going to do it for free. And if they give you a number, a sum of money, if they give you if they ask to be paid, just think about that. Yeah, I hope you liked that video. As you might have noticed, I've not got anything new to show you, so I had to come up with something, and I came up with that. So, yeah, I don't have anything new to show you. Again, I'm sorry, I've been busy. I've been working on a commission, which I finished, and then I'll have another one to do, which I'm going to start after I've edited this. And then I am going to work on my alphabet. I am going to work on my alphabet. It's been like 3 weeks. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. Next week, I probably won't put a video out next week, because next weekend me and a bunch of my friends are going up to Edinburgh for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival over the weekend, so I'm probably not going to have time to do a video. I might film a bit of stuff while I'm up there. But we'll see. But I should be able to get back to doing stuff the following week. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks if you are a subscriber. Thank you if you like this video. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye. Packet of chocolate biscuits, like on that chair behind the camera. It's been staring at me this whole time.